Now, won't you take a look at this? This is the Datalogic Memor, and Memor, I think is how you pronounce it. Memor. The Memor, I don't know, the Memor X3. And what do you expect? It's another barcode scanner. So, you know, this thing is it's tiny, it's small, just like the Dolphin. Well, the Dolphin is like slightly bigger, but this is, yeah. So, you know, look at this. It is a handheld barcode scanner. So it scans barcodes. So, as you can see, that is your microphone piece on the top, I think. No, that's actually not. That's your headset piece. Your microphone piece is in the bottom. Your main speaker is right there. And on top of it is the regulation label. So up here is the scan engine. This is Datalogic's own custom bullshit solution. You see on older models, let me see if I can grab it here. See, this is a Memor X3. It uses a symbol one. See, that is a symbol 2D imager. That is an SE. That's an SE. I forgot. I don't fucking remember. It's a common imager. Yeah, but on this one, it uses Datalogic's own imager. Why? Because this is a slightly newer revision. That's why. And I think that's the only difference. So you can see the keypad has an orange scan button. Escape, enter, there's your D-pad. Those are your function keys right there. There's your numeric. Those are your little toggle keys. Backspace, alpha switcher, tab. Yep, the typical bullshit. Obviously, if you hit the blue toggle key, you're gonna get the key light, the backlight, page up and down, your volume control. This is if you want to enable the mouse emulator, file manager. This is to lock the keypad, and that's your start menu. And yeah, so obviously if we examine the back, there's literally nothing. Nothing at all. There's a little button, pop up in the cover, and that's it. So, believe it or not, this thing does not use a hand strap. Instead, this thing uses a lanyard. Yeah. So this is the lanyard right here. And you see the lanyard has a little pocket where you could store your stylus in. Like the other Memor X3 I showed, that's where the stylus would be. But this thing does not use a pen stylus. You can see on the hand strap, you can see it reads Datalogic. And just there's a little logo right there. Yep. Amazing. See? In the back, nada. Yep. So, you know, what do you use to interact with the touch screen? I'll tell you this. You use this thing. This is the little tether for the stylus. See, there's a built-in stylus compartment. If I could pull it out. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna have to set the... Okay, bro. There we go. So, there we go. Let me aim this thing properly. Look at that. That is your pick stylus. So it doesn't use a pen. If the camcorder wants to cooperate, it wants to... You fucking bitch. Okay, let me do something here. There we go. So, USC, that is your pick stylus. So you use this thing to tap on the touch screen to interact with any elements within the touch screen. You can also see that on the stylus there's a little 3. See? There is a... That's I was about to say letter. That's the number 3. Yep. And you know, there's your little recessed fucking bitch. Come on. You see, there's your little There's your little recess for you to grip with your thumb to interact on the touch screen. Yeah. So it uses a pick stylus much in the same vein as the ScanPal 5100. But unlike the ScanPal 5100, which stores this pick stylus on the hand strap, this one stores it within a little pocket in the device, embedded inside the device, inside this little hole. So it clicks into place. So, you know, let me see, this is the optimal position right here. So if I power on the device, you'll see Datalogic. Ooh. Whoa. Crazy. There's your desktop. So it's got that Datalogic wallpaper. You know, you could change it. Wow. Amazing. You know, you got your little battery meter. Shit. Fuck off. The battery meter. C80. Wow. There's your scan wedge. Fuck. No, I don't want to fucking... Nope. Shit. See, go here. See? Data capture type. Imager. Oh. It seems as this thing isn't properly connecting to the internet, but whatever. There's a task switcher, there's SIP panel, so you get the options between the keyboard and the transcriber. Wow. Yeah, as you know. Yep. You fucking idiot. No. No, I don't want the fucking... Fuck off. I don't want this bullshit transcriber. Get the fuck out of my way. See, there's your SIP panel. You know? So, very intuitive. Here's your start menu. Yep. Programs. You get scan and configure, the submit wireless client, command prompt, the media player, remote desktop, media player. It plays media. There's your WordPad. Yep. Go here in settings. You know, you can scroll it like you can on a phone using gestures. So Datalogic added that onto the BSP, so you don't have to use the scroll bar. You can use gestures instead. Yeah. Know your settings, got all the usual bullshit. Yep. You see, you have files admin. See, there's a floppy disk wearing shades. Kind of funny. Yeah. So, got your volumes and sounds. See, there's a startup tone. Amazing. Yeah. We could check the system specifications. Where the fuck is it? Shouldn't it be? There it is. And yeah, you see it has a Marvel PXA 310. This is a PXA 310 running at 800 megahertz. So yeah, it's a PXA 310 running at 800 megahertz. Typically these things run at like 624 megahertz, but this thing is clocked up to 800. The Datalogic Scorpio X3 has the same CPU, but it runs at the reduced speed that I mentioned at. Why does the smaller handheld run at 800 megahertz? I don't know. You can see it has 256 megabytes of RAM. Here's my serial. You can see it runs Windows CE 6.0. And yeah. So go here, memory, same bullshit. Device name, same bullshit. And go copyright, same bullshit, you know. Yep, typical garbage. Portions of the software based in part of the work of the independent JPEG Corp. Fuck off, I don't care. Yeah. Since it doesn't seem to want to connect to the internet, doesn't seem to. I can't exactly show off the internet. Not like there's anything interesting on it, because it can't really access any websites. But yeah, you know, we could check the storage manager. See, there's the file explorer. There is your internal flash. Yep. I have nothing stored on it, so I'm gonna have to active sync it to do that. But yeah, no, go up my WordPad. I don't know, what's a barcode I can scan? Let me see here. Jesus. Same bullshit, same UPC. So, behold. Wow. Yep. Come on. What the fuck? Why isn't this? There we go. See? And it even makes a little jingle instead of a beep. Instead of beeping, it makes a little jingle. Because it's happy that I scanned the barcode. Yep. And believe it or not, this thing has a more responsive scan engine than compared to the older symbol one. Now, you see the symbol one, when you scan it, actually would produce the standard bullshit tone that we all hear. But this thing is happy whenever it scans a barcode. So, instead it makes a little jingle. Can I fucking put this thing inside? God damn it. Let me just suspend the device here. You see? So, yeah. And upon that, this thing has gray side triggers. Even has side triggers at all. The Scorpio X3 does not use side triggers. Why the fuck isn't this... See, I can't put this shit in with one hand. There we go. Look at that. You see? Convenience. See, there we go. It is convenience at its finest. Yeah. So, you know, there it is. There's the sight triggers. They're gray. They're gray colored. See, it's a little half circle thingy. That's the gripper. Yep. So, yeah. So this is older revision with the symbol imager, and the symbol imager actually produces a red aimer, a reticle, and LEDs. Then compared to the newer Datalogic one, that uses a what do you call it? A white one. Yeah. A white LED. Yeah. So that is the Memor X3. See? There's the little ports on the bottom. You get the standard charging socket. It uses the same charger as the Dolphins. You get a USB, micro USB port on the bottom. Then you get Datalogic's proprietary bullshit port, which you use to hook up the cradle. Now the thing is, you don't need a cradle because you got a USB port, so you could just sync it with the computer via USB, and you could even charge it via USB. So I guess there's kind of a redundant system right there, but I don't know. Yeah, so that is the Memor. The Memor is something that you probably won't forget. So Datalogic named it the Memor because it is such a nice handheld. You will never forget using it because it stands for memory. And that memory, what the fuck am I talking about? Okay, yeah, that's the Memor.